what can I say, from now on, or from there on, we've been looking at ambulances in an even different way. I mean, we've always known that they are important, but the fact that they save Yinka's life, essentially. So from my perspective, we are just really grateful.
Main thing is waking up on the floor, seeing all these feet around me, rushing around, screaming, call an ambulance, and then just waiting for the ambulance. When they came, of course, cut me out of my jacket, and then put the brace around my neck, and then hoisted me up into the ambulance, and took me straight to St. George Tooting.
So this job was one of my first jobs on my first car shift. When I first got the job, it was really confusing because where it happened, we weren't really expecting much until we saw how high he had actually fallen. It was, I think it was like 7 or 8 meters. He was in good spirits at that point. He thought everything was going to be okay, which really lucky it turned out to be.
No, at that stage I couldn't feel a thing. It was quite surreal, just being able to only feel from the neck up. Couldn't move a thing, and it was more of a feeling of giving up than any kind of fear or anything. I was just, in a weird sense, just very tired and done for the day.
So this job, I was basically out just to give support to Amanda because it was her first SRV shift. I was just there to sort of reassure her, really. I had no huge intervention, rather than sort of just talking to the patient. I let Amanda do the sort of clinical stuff. Made sure we got a crew going, and then we actually travelled with the patient in the ambulance to St George's, where Amanda did a fantastic trauma call and handover. And that's my lasting sort of memory of the job, just how good she was for her first shift.
We found Gordon and Amanda and Oluwa on the floor in a sort of like a sort of half a circle, wasn't he? We immobilised a lot of people who potentially aren't as badly injured as Oluwa was. So it was very important that we did that right on that occasion. We did it a lot at that time. We had a lot of pressure on to get it absolutely right. And I remember I was driving for that job, so the drive into hospital, obviously in these, is quite bumpy. So I was very aware not to sort of hit any big holes or swerve around traffic too quickly, yeah.
In A&E, they took an X-ray, and they showed me the X-ray, and they looked very bad at that point, and that's when it kind of sunk in at how devastated the damage was. In a sense, the C5 was smashed to pieces, and there were just shards, and the C6 had snapped in half, and pretty much pressing it up against the spinal cord. And they were very adamant that if they don't operate now, I would die.
When we saw him where he was with the potential injuries that he had, I don't think any of us thought that Oluwa would be up and walking around as well as he is at the moment. It's brilliant.
Yeah, like once I made my mind up to walk, there was nothing gonna stop me in that sense. It wasn't easy getting there. Like you're dealing with a lot of different people, a lot of different ideologies, and the way people see things compared to how you see things. But I'd like to say I proved them all right, in that I said 3 months, and I did it. So now it's just upwards and onwards.
It's absolutely amazing to be able to see, you know, the patient at the end of the phone in real life, and I think it's just great just seeing him like this. He's just, yeah, he's an amazing guy.
With our job, it's not going to the big jobs like this. It's, you know, old people on the floor or people who are maybe using 999 inappropriately. So to do a job like this and see the end result, the whole picture, has been really rewarding, yeah.
And it was really nice that he reached out and tried to include us in his recovery. And yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen a patient post-hospital, I guess.
It was important just because they were the first line, and I feel like a lot of the time they don't get the appreciation they need and the thanks. Like a proper thanks, not just a, oh, you done good. So it was really good today to just meet everyone because in the end, they saved my life.